All set.
All right, outstanding. Sean, do you want to run the meeting, or if we have the
No, I do
meeting
not.
agenda? What's that?
I do not.
Okay, let's see if I can find the agenda. I can.
Sure, I can certainly go down the agenda.
Oh, yeah.
We're starting off with the continuation for 305 Berlin Street, notice of intent, JC Construction Services LLC.
All right.
I know we have to set up, Kim wants to set up a site visit for this one, I guess.
Okay. Do we have representation here tonight? And can we?
Yes.
Oh, hello, hello.
Hello.
Who is this? Is James on the call?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So again, forgive us for starting the meeting a little bit late. Kim Roth, the chair who normally administrates the meetings, is not in attendance this evening. So we've worked through getting the meeting started. Sorry for the delay. So this is a continued hearing, Sean, is that correct?
It says continuation, yep.
Okay, all right. So James, do you have update? And again, we're just trying to keep pace. Sounds like Kim wanted to set up a site walk on this one, and we haven't been able to do that yet.
She didn't specify a site walk in the last meeting. She wanted to do a continuation due to abutters being able to, I would say, contest the build of the new house.
Oh, to be in attendance. Okay. Was it that a butter notification hadn't gone out in time for the prior meeting?
For the prior meeting, yes. Apparently, it went out once at the beginning of our conservation reports and everything, but all of our reports weren't in yet.
All right. Thank you for helping us keep track. James, do you happen to have a site plan available that you can share screen with, or?
I sent the site plan to the town. I don't have my copy with me.
All right. If you give me a minute, I'll see if it was forwarded to us. Again, I apologize that we're just quite making the quorum tonight.
My customer is on the call too. He might have a copy of it in his computer. I'm not sure.
Hi, yeah, I'm Emmanuel Molina. I own both properties of 305 and 309, so I would be one of the abutters. Yes, I'm here. I'm trying to find it. I know that we sent an email with the report as well.
All right. I'm trying to go through my Town of Clinton emails. Right.
August 22nd there. I have something there.
It was an email from August 20. Is that Dawn?
Yeah, August.
Hey, Dawn, how are you?
Yeah.
August 22nd. This is on 309 Berlin Street?
That's correct. So I'm not sure why they put 305 because I do own, that's my primary 305, but the actual construction is happening at 309.
All right, all right.
Well, that's something we're gonna fix. Does the application say 309 or 305?
It's for 309, the application.
My site plan says 309. I have a PDF of it, and the wetland delineation report should say the same thing.
Okay. 309, yep. Or, okay. Delineation report was from Ecotech. They're pretty reputable. Looks like you had Scott Jordan out there. I see wetland delineation data sheets. All right. All right, let me see. So I'm going to try to pull up the plan and project it, if I can do it. Let's give it a shot.
Can you do that?
Yeah, let me see if I can do share screen. You might, Sean, you might need to enable
Yep,
me.
yep.
All right. Share screen. All right. It looks like I still need authorization to share.
You gotta love technology, huh?
Yeah. We're
I don't
trying to
even know
move
where this-
through it. Right.
I don't even know where the screen share button is.
It's on the bottom of the screen. There's a green icon. Oh, there it is. Okay,
You're
so
a co-host now, Dave, so.
you've
hopefully
enabled
that'll-
me. Yep.
Yeah.
Outstanding. So, all right, let's give it a shot.
There you go.
Are you guys able to see the plan?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you
Okay.
also have the report as well?
I do. Yep. I can bring that up as well.
Sure.
Yep.
So 305 is right next to it. And then there's the right of way. We did go through the town to get the variance as well, to get the special permit, because there was no frontage, so we got that.
Oh, is that with ZBA zoning?
Yes,
Mhm,
Okay,
that's-
so it doesn't mean zoning for frontage, but you guys have a waiver for a smaller frontage than permitted.
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
that's
all right.
correct. And
Good.
Mr. Molina's dwelling is literally to the right of that right away.
Okay,
Obviously not depicted on the plan.
right. Okay, so who is the applicant in this matter? Is Emmanuel, are you the applicant? Is this?
So I'm the primary. James is my contractor.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay,
understand.
so he filed for me, but I am the owner of
Yeah.
both properties.
Okay, so just to help bring me and the rest of the commission back up to speed, is this a vacant lot in which you're constructing a single family house, or is this a tear down rebuild, or?
The
It's a
tear down's
tear
already been done.
Okay, so there was a home on the lot, the house was demoed, and this is application for construction of a new home.
Correct.
That's correct.
All right,
The old existing dwelling was a single wide mobile home that sat on a foundation, and it was closer to the right of way than the new house is. But with the new setbacks for the town, this is where we ended up having to pop
Okay.
this foundation in.
okay, so for side setbacks.
Correct.
Rear setback. All right,
Well,
understood.
even a frontage setback off of there's a house in front of this house also.
All right. Was did Ecotech flag the wetlands for you? Is that that's the report?
That's
Yes,
what
they
Kim
flagged the
already said, I
wetlands
guess.
for us. They did the testing and everything as well.
Okay, all right. What was the testing for? Is that,
Soil sample just to see where the wetland was.
oh, okay, yep, yeah, that goes with the wetland delineation. All right. I was just
Yes.
making sure when you said soil testing that, I don't think anything in Clinton is on septic, but, it's all tied into town sewer.
No.
All right. How was the plan generated? Was this via survey?
Yes, this was generated by Kevin Jarvis of Jarvis Land Survey out of Shrewsbury.
Okay, all right.
So
Um,
after Ecotech did all of their flagging and our silt fence was put in, Kevin came out to redepict everything on the site plan for conservation.
All right. Normally, I don't want to be too nitpicky, but the plan, it's a bit devoid of I don't want to say devoid of information. A standardized plan would be stamped by a registered PLS.
That's
Is Kevin a PLS or?
He is, and the plan you should have is stamped.
Oh, okay. The one I have here is just a, maybe it's just a snippet of the plan, which,
Yeah, yeah.
as you see in our screenshot, that's all we received. So we don't, I don't see the stamp.
So if you have the actual PDF that was sent in somewhere where the compass is, I'm looking on my PDF at his stamp just to the left of east. I mean, just to the right of east and right dead center.
Okay.
That's weird. You don't see it on that.
No, do you have the PDF on screen, or do you have it?
Yeah, I pulled it up in my email. I do have it on screen right here.
Oh, would it be okay if I transferred share screen authorization to you to just look at the stamp plan?
Absolutely.
All right, then I'm gonna get out of this. Sean, if we could authorize James to share screen. All right. What while we're working to
James,
get
you
you
sharing?
share screen. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not going to make him a co-host, but like, James, are you trying to share now?
I can click the share button, but it says the host isn't allowing multiple presenter sharing for this meeting.
Oh, do I need to
I got it. I got
yeah,
it.
I tried to stop share. Again,
Try that.
technology.
There we go.
Ah, yes. All right. Stamp plan. Perfect. Good. Okay. That just by way of having a PLS stamp.
Mhm.
That's it. What is the state in the current condition? This was a tear down rebuild. Is there any vegetation clearing necessary for this, or is the lot primarily cleared by way of having the prior house on it?
So the existing dwelling was taken down. There was some trees taken down. Probably I want to say probably where our silt fence is.
Okay.
And that was it. Other than that, it's the whole lot sits on ledge.
Okay. All right. The there's a few details in the site plan that aren't necessarily on here. So the limit of clearing, are you guys planning on having a backyard? Like, is this going to be lawn to the extent of the silt fence? Does the silt fence represent the limit or extent of alteration?
I would say that the finished backyard, what there will be of it is just going to be a gradual grade, probably right to the silt fence.
Okay.
It's not going to be much of a grade because I mean it's pretty much already there.
Right, right. That was the other thing I was going to mention that's not on the plan is elevational grading details. So I can't tell where the grade changes, or we don't have contours on this plan.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to garner enough information that we're comfortable moving forward with this. So one of the things we would want is we'd want to have memorialized in here where the limit of lawn is, and where that if the silt fence will coincide with the extent of clearing and what will be the limit of lawn, that we would just want to monument that such that there's no additional future clearing beyond the silt fence encroaching any closer to the wetland than what you guys have projected here.
And that should be correct because
Okay.
we also have wetlands behind 305. So we did have set a limit of how far the yard would be. And then we
Okay.
wouldn't go further than that.
Yeah, and my silt fence pretty much dies off adjacent with 305 where his lawn stops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it ties into the abutting lot where his
correct.
lawn terminates.
Yes.
Correct.
That makes sense to me.
And then we would follow our silt fence off of 305 following, that's kind of what we would limit it to what we're dealing with.
All right. Dawn, did you attend the site walk? They said that there was a site walk earlier on. Were you able to go, Dawn?
We were never informed of a site walk because we would have been there also.
Oh, sorry.
Either
Okay.
myself-
Sorry, Kim was asking.
No,
for a
no,
sidewalk to check
I didn't
the
go
flag.
on one.
Okay.
Kim was
But I
asking
was,
for a
I was
sidewalk
looking
to
at the
check
notice intent. Is it the right address on there? It seemed, maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Right. Yeah, administratively, we just want to make sure that we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's to make sure that all references in the notice of intent match the plan.
Yeah, I saw the wrong address on the notice of intent. I don't know if I'm looking at it right or not. I have my cell phone, so it's kind of hard to
Okay.
zip back and forth.
Right. Okay. That's administrative stuff that we can wrap up, and if they need to just revise their WPA Form 3 and resubmit it, that's not a
No,
big deal.
it's a completely different address on a different street.
No, it's right next to it. It's 305 and
This one
309.
says 3 something, neither one of those. It's a different address. I think it's the address of one of the contractors or something like that.
That'd probably be is it 315 Route 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be the contract. That's where my office is located, my house. That was just,
Right.
They asked
I
for-
thought
Can you say
I thought
something?
the notice of intent said that was a location of the property. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. I can't bring it up all the time.
Yes, babe.
Can we bring up the notice of intent and look at it?
Dawn, do you have a copy of it, or you have it? Are you on your phone, Dawn?
He's on
Or
his phone.
okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm on my phone. I'm pretty sure I can't share
right.
anything.
When
It's-
was
it's on-
when was
it's
the
on
notice of
that-
intent?
What day is it on? I forget what date the notice of intent was sent.
Do a search.
Where am I at? See if I can find it again.
Yeah.
Ecotech.
Well, while you're looking for that, I think we can deliberate a little bit. Any of the members have any concerns, or do you guys see any special conditions that we would carry in a permanent, in a notice of it? I'm sorry, in an order of conditions, if we were to issue one for the house?
Dave, a couple things. I don't have any of that, but one of the notes that Kim gave me was to make sure that we check the flags. She was looking for a site walk.
All right.
Not necessarily, there wasn't one before, but she's looking for one to check the flags to make sure those are okay.
Okay.
And also we have a new member, Rachel Benass is with us tonight, so there's actually 4 of us.
Yep.
Probably
Thank
not
you.
gonna be able to vote on this stuff, but just so you know, she is here.
All right.
Hi, yes, I am here, listening.
This is great. Welcome to the Conservation Commission.
Thank you. I'm right now just listening and learning, so
Wonderful.
bear
Happy
with me.
to have
Thank you.
Figuratively seated at the table with us.
Yes.
It's great to have you on board.
Thank you.
Okay,
The notice of intent, I think, is dated June 24th. If I'm looking at the right one.
the email?
Yeah.
7 June 24th. June 24th? Let's see it. 6/24. Aha. Please see notice of intent for, yeah, we have 305 Berlin Street. Is that correct?
No, that's my primary.
No, it's 310. It shows 310 as the property location. The one I'm looking at. Maybe I got an old one. I don't know.
This,
I don't
no,
think
the,
there's a-
well, the one I'm looking at says the project location, the street address is 315 Route 10.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah, that's wrong. That's my address, and I don't know how that got put in there like that, but
Okay, all right. So that's an administrative issue that we would just ask you to revise and resubmit the WPA Form 3.
it's fine. I can have that done later on tonight.
Yep, that's administrative in nature. So I guess the decision right now in the commission, we can deliberate this, is that assuming Kim's request to review the wetland flags, perhaps we can get out there in the next week to review. When is our next hearing on in this matter? Where you already took her out? Yeah. All right. Sorry, my dog's whining in the background. Can you get rid of her? Put her in a room with you or something, please. Sorry.
I'm not in a room.
Take her into your bedroom, please, and take your
We're
stuff.
scheduled for the 23rd of October.
All right. What are you guys looking at for construction schedule on this? Obviously, you want permits in hand ASAP. That's
I have my permits.
okay. Great. You have your building permit, or you have the? I imagine you won't have the building permit until conservation authorizes.
No, I'll Denora from the building department. Everything's approved. I just have to go pay for it, and they'll hand it to me.
Okay.
So it was just the conservation holding us up.
Right. All right.
And Ecotech did flag the whole area.
Right.
Yeah, Ecotech getting out to flag the area held us up a little bit too.
Right. Okay, I understand. In Kim's absence, I'd hate to deny the opportunity to go out there and review the wetland flags. So I am of the opinion that perhaps I think you guys are close. I don't have any concerns. I don't see any hangups in what you have. To respect Kim's wishes, right, as a respected member of our commission, I'd be inclined to see if we can schedule a site walk to just come out and look at the wetland flags, make sure that we agree with their accuracy. I will say that Ecotech does outstanding work. They're a highly reputed company, and I do have confidence and faith in them. But at the same time, I think maybe we do get out there. But again, I don't think we have any other questions, comments, or feedback that you guys would need to make any plan revisions or appease any other questions, comments, or concerns we have, aside from the administrative resubmittal of the WPA Form 3. But let me ask the other members of the commission. Sean, Donald, do you guys have any thoughts on this about coordinating a site walk, perhaps?
Yeah, we can do one. Yeah, I want to do one. Yeah, I think we forgot about, Kim mentioned it last time. And I guess one question I have, just kind of curious, is so there's no frontage on the road. You have to have the access road. I think I know what it looks like.
Just it's not even an access road. It's already an existing paved right of way.
Right. So there's no frontage on the road. I'm just trying to picture it again.
Correct.
Okay.
No frontage.
Okay.
Oh, so I
That's
understand
all.
that. Okay, so the right of way is detailed in this plan is a driveway access to the house.
Correct.
Okay. Is that a formal easement? Is it a shared common access driveway? Is this different from the driveway that goes to the Emmanuel's home?
This entrance connects to Emmanuel's entrance. So they both share the same entrance. They both share, his driveway is on the street pretty much at the front. And this goes down to this lot.
Okay, so you don't need like a new curb cut getting out onto the roadway. And again, these aren't necessarily wetland concerns privy to the Wetlands Protection Act. I'm just trying to understand. So it's a common access driveway to two houses, which is fine.
Correct.
That's permittable. Okay. All right. Okay. Any other questions in that regards, Donald?
No, I'm good. I think we need to do a site visit.
Okay. All right. So let's do,
Maybe we can hold an emergency meeting in 2 weeks or something like that. I don't know. That's,
Well, we can, as
I
long as
would
we can talk about
appreciate
that.
that.
I
I
don't
would
think so.
appreciate that, Donald. Thank you. Because, I started this process back in October. And so my concern is the bank, because we're getting close to the year mark in October. So that's why if there's anything that the committee can do for us, I would really appreciate it.
yeah, I disagree with Don. I don't see this being a situation in which we hold an emergency meeting in the interim.
Would it be a full continuance for another month, or would it be a site visit and we're good to go?
No, it would be a site visit and then a return to close the public hearing and vote to issue the order of conditions on the October hearing. So what we would do is we'd see if we can coordinate a site walk with you guys in the next week or two and just get out there as soon as possible, verify the wetland lines, make sure that there's no remaining questions. But I think that you guys would be positioned at this point to close the public hearing and issue the order of conditions at the October hearing.
I'll do the site walkthrough at 6 o'clock in the morning if I have to. I just want to get the project moving.
Yep. No, we recognize that, and I can appreciate that. I don't want to hold you guys up any longer than necessary here, and I don't see any in this review. I don't see any complications for a buffer zone only single family house.
Mhm.
All right, so we're just trying to check all the boxes and get you guys set up here. All right. Any other thoughts or deliberation from the Conservation Commission?
None for me.
No.
None?
None for me. I'm up for the site walk.
All right, thank you, Rachel. All right, this being a public hearing, do we have any members of the public here tonight that wishes to speak on this matter or comment? If so, please either raise your hand or we can unmute you. All right. Not seeing any hands and hearing crickets. Going once. All right. I don't think we have any public comment. All right. With that, I would entertain a motion to schedule a site walk and continue the public hearing to the October meeting.
I make a motion to schedule a site walk and continue to the next October meeting.
I'll
All right.
second.
Do we have a second? All right.
Do we need a date for that?
Yeah, let's.
We'll
I mean, we can look at our calendars now and see what we have available. It's still light enough, like immediately after work, right? Where maybe we could do an early evening 5:15 site walk, or
You guys tell me and I'll make it happen. I'll be there.
yeah. All right, you got it. All right, let me. I'm just looking at my outlook for the next week. I'd like to get out there as soon as possible, so you guys aren't left in the wind here. It's the 25th. I have availability Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. It looks like I have public hearings for work myself the evenings of Wednesday and Thursday. And I'm trying to think of I have daughters in the Clinton Public Schools that have athletic practices. They're on Mondays. Would next Tuesday, October 1st, work?
That's perfect.
Okay.
Good with me.
Manny, can you be there too?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's do that. I think let's schedule after the hearing. We can send a follow-up email, notifying Kim and notifying the town that we'll hold a site walk on the October 1st. And
5:15.
Yeah, let's do 5:15. I'll put it in my calendar now so it doesn't fall to the wayside. All right. All right. What is the correct address on this? Is it 308?
309.
309. All right. We'll get there. All right. All right. Berlin Street. Site walk. All right. And we said 5:15. We should be out there. I don't think it'll take more than 15 minutes, honestly. It's a very short series of flags. It will be a very short site walk. So, all right. Okay. All right.
If I fill out this form, can I email it to the commission or should I email it to the town's assistant?
Email it to the, you can copy us, but everything should go to, is it pronounced Lourdes?
Yes.
Yep. Yep. She is the municipal employee and everything should go to her.
Okay.
So that's it. So, so I think you guys are in good shape. I regret that we can't close the hearing tonight, but I think that we don't really have any questions, comments, or any revision requests. And I think it really is just a matter of just looking at those flags and verifying them and having you guys situated to, and one of the things I can ask is in anticipation that we will be closing in October, I can ask to begin drafting the order of conditions now, such that it saves you a little bit of more time, right? Routinely we'll vote to close in a hearing and then have an order of conditions by the following hearing. But I think we should be able to have a draft order of conditions by the next hearing, such that you guys won't lose any more time. That we'll have a permit draft for you. Right. So I'm trying to consider how long you guys have waited and get you guys moving here.
We still have to vote on that.
All right. So with the meeting date scheduled, I would again entertain a motion to continue the public hearing pending the site walk.
So are we have a motion on the table to vote on to do the site walk or to continue? Don, what did you say?
To continue. I don't think we need to vote. We don't need to vote on the site walk.
Okay.
That's not a,
Okay,
I don't think we
then
need to vote on that. But I would entertain a motion to continue the public hearing in anticipation. We'll have the site walk done and we'll be back in October with a draft order.
Yeah, I make the motion, the same motion, we continue till next month.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
I second it.
Sean, Rachel. All right.
Yes.
Voting, Dave, aye. Sean,
Sean, aye.
aye. Don,
Aye.
aye. And Rachel?
You
Aye.
should abstain.
Aye. Okay,
Oh.
it's unanimous. All right, guys,
so-
thank you.
sorry,
We'll have you, if
Okay.
you just shoot back the WPA Form 3 and we'll see you next Tuesday and we'll try to position you guys to get out of here next month.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Rachel, the
All
way
right.
I did it when I was new is until there's new stuff, if it's stuff that's grandfathered in, I would just abstain because you weren't there for the beginning of the hearing. So technically you don't have all the information. That's what I was
Sure.
advised from council. So
Okay,
Right.
that's good.
That's right, Sean. Thank you for administrative procedure. Right. Technically, unless I believe you can miss up to one hearing in the matter,
yeah,
but otherwise you would, I guess you would need to recuse yourself if you've missed 2 or more meetings. Some meetings are recorded and they would actually let you like watch the recorded prior hearing to remain an active voting member in the matter.
I think if you weren't on the board, I actually looked into it because I did watch the meetings.
Oh,
before I
thanks.
started.
Yeah.
If you're on and you miss one, you can catch up, but I don't think you can get caught up before you start.
Okay. All right. And we still have a quorum in the matter
Yeah.
without Rachel here
Fine.
between
Yep.
you, Dawn, and I.
Yep.
Okay. So just for the record, we'll just take note that 3 of us voted in favor.
301.
Yep.
Yep.
And albeit Rachel voted. Yeah, Rachel, you'll start to learn all these nuances, and it's not the Wetlands Protection Act, but we also have to follow public meeting law. And public meeting law dictates some of these things.
Sure. And I'll need to get up to speed on that some way, somehow. So maybe I'll speak with Lourdes to find out how to do that.
No worries. No worries. Okay.
Yeah, there's a class you have to take, a state class.
We can catch her up offline.
Yeah.
We were late already, sorry.
Yep. Yep.
So
With that,
next
Sean,
up-
what's the next matter on the agenda?
next up, I don't think we have anybody here. It's a notice of intent for 42 Henry Street, George Babrikoff.
Okay. Do we have any representation tonight in this matter? Do you know where this stood with the applicant? Was did they
No, I-
request a formal continuance tonight, or
No, I think this is the one, is Henry Street, the fill down by Nashua River that we were having trouble with?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is one we might have to go to a higher power on. And maybe we just, I don't think this, nothing's gonna be happening. I think it's more, an enforcement issue on our end that might be kicked to, the DEP.
DEP.
That's
All
my
right.
understanding. So I would
Okay.
get Kim's counsel on this. I know she can't be involved, but, if that's what we're gonna do next, I think that's the next step.
All right. Okay. Then having no representation here tonight, I would just entertain a motion to administratively continue the matter to our next scheduled hearing while we internally appraise whether or not this requires elevated enforcement authority.
So moved.
All right. So we have a motion to continue the public hearing. Do we have a second? Dawn?
A second.
Thanks.
All right. Okay. So,
This is the way for me to turn on my audio.
right.
Sure,
So
sure.
roll call, I vote yay. Dawn,
Yay.
yay. Sean, yay.
I'm in.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So that matter continues, and we will continue to work behind the scenes to appraise what's necessary.
Next up is a notice of intent for River Road North Dyke, Wachusett Reservoir, MWRA. We were waiting for additional information.
Oh, great. Yep. And I see that they're on. So, yep, let's open the public matter. And this is the continued matter. And I think we were looking for some. The comments were really whether or not there were alternative methods of slope stabilization that were less impactful. Am I correct?
David, if I can jump in for a second,
Please,
my
Julie.
colleague John Gregoire is on the phone. He's a 617 number. I'd like you to unmute him, just so
Sure,
he can
sorry.
chime in.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
Let's advance him to a presenter if he's like that. Do you have anyone else on your project team that needs to be advanced to a presenter?
Colleen Rizzi is on the phone, but I
Yep.
don't think she
Is
needs to
Colleen
be
there?
advanced, but just you can unmute her so she can turn on and off.
Yep, let's do that just in case. Yeah, anyone with your team that is afforded opportunity to speak, we'll put them on.
Appreciate that.
Hi, John Gregoire is here, unmuted.
Okay, hi, John.
Hi, everybody.
All right. So with that, I would turn it over to you guys. Do you guys have additional information since the last hearing, an assessment of the slope stabilization? Is this one that we were sending to peer review, Sean? I need to refresh my memory.
Yeah, I thought we were because they were asking for details on how to get that budgeted.
Yeah, and I'd just like to point out too that this solution that we're proposing is pretty much the same one that was approved under our previous order of conditions on River Road. So I just want to point that out and also kind of see where you guys are at with the peer review conversation.
Okay. Did the when you said that have you changed the plan since the last time, or it's the sorry, Julie, I'm trying to understand. So the proposal is you said this is the same as previously permitted, but there hasn't been any changes since the last plan. What was it? Gabion baskets, but then there was also a drainage area. that,
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we
if
added
I
that
can
to
jump
kind
in.
of, yeah, John, jump in. You know this better
Yeah.
than myself.
yeah, thanks, John.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Briefly, to the chair and the commission, essentially, what we're seeking here, we've added in, we just want some slope stabilization solution with some stone armoring, and we've added in some planting solutions essentially at the request of the commission. It's really no different than the whole outboard slope treatment that you approved for us on River Road. That is basically the same slope, the slope angle, the same armoring with planting solutions mixed in. And that's basically what we're asking for. But what happened with the last hearing is that we were told that the commission was requiring a peer review. And I know Julie's been reaching out, and we can't move forward on this until we get something in writing from you requiring that, because we're kind of stuck in limbo.
Right. Yep. No, that's understand. And I agree with you that the responsibility is on us to solicit that peer review and get that moving for you. I know Kim had asked some general questions about qualified peer review consultants, but I don't know that we actually solicited bids on it, which is normal peer review procedure.
Well, I think we also would like to have some documentation from the commission that you're requiring this. All we have is basically a verbal discussion from the last hearing, and there's no minutes or anything, and we didn't get a formal letter. And I know Julie had requested it through your administration.
Okay. Well, I'd have to look at the previous hearing, but I do believe that we had voted on peer review, and
That's what I have in my notes, yeah.
sure. So I mean, if it was voted on by public hearing, we figuratively could just send you a letter and say, by vote of the Conservation Commission, we elected to do this. I regret that it hasn't been done, the solicitation prior to in the interim between the last hearing and where we are today. But I can't redact that we've already voted on sending this to peer review. So I think the responsibility now is ours, that we really need to expedite getting solicitations out and getting bids on it, so that we can provide it to you prior to the next hearing, right? That's the burden is now on us, and I regret that it hadn't been squared away or solicitations hadn't gone out. So,
and if I may, I'm sorry to interrupt this.
Yeah,
I'm Colleen
absolutely.
Rizzi. I'm the Director of Environmental and Regulatory Affairs for the authority.
Mike,
Just one note on the, as you are soliciting the peer reviewers, that we just want to make sure this is very specialty work, right? The slope stabilization, the GZA geoenvironmental team, who is highly qualified, including experts in the field, is that we're just requesting that if their peer review is to go forward, that it is truly a geotechnical firm, and that it is not, I think the last hearing, it may have been some conversation about a civil or structural. That's really
No.
not the appropriate. So we want to make sure that we're getting a.
Yep, Colleen, and that's, yep, we recognize that concern, and I believe that is one of the reasons for the delay, because Kim was talking with me and some others to find a qualified geotech in particular. If this was a conventional peer review for wetland resource areas, then I mean, we can send it out to Ecotech or we have a dozen different companies that we commonly use in peer review. But given the technical expertise in geotech, we're trying to find a geotech firm specific to this nature of work. So that is recognized, but again, that's without our familiarity of having, a list of qualified geotech consultants that we normally reach out to. And we also want to work with you guys to identify the scope of work. I don't think it's I don't want to have a full scope peer review in terms of I don't think we need review of the wetland lines. We don't need review of compliance with the riverfront area standards. It really is specific to whether or not there are less intrusive, hard armored methods that would achieve the same stabilization. And again, and it has to be a practical, alternative, and it has to be a practical, economically equivalent. It shouldn't result in significant cost to you as well. That's another consideration, is whether or not it's economically equivalent. But again, because it's geotechnical in nature, that it really does exceed the expertise of the members of the Conservation Commission to review it and opine on it. So
Yeah, no, definitely understood, and we appreciate you taking that into consideration, and certainly would appreciate anything you can do prior to the next meeting. Because I think at this point, we're already in jeopardy of losing another construction season. That'll actually be, I think, the second or third that we've
Right.
lost. So we've been going through the process. So we just, we're definitely have some concerns, I'm sure, as is the commission, about that slope continuing to destabilize and slough into that lower basin. So we definitely want to get moving on this as quickly as we can.
absolutely, and again, I do regret the delay on our part by not having already solicited that. What I would suggest is, instead of the Conservation Commission working in a vacuum of Kim and I and others trying to find a geotech firm, we'll reprioritize this to be, committed to have at least maybe 2 firms identified to send this off to bid, to solicit peer review from them in the next week. And I would also advise that we are communicating with you, and that have you guys tied in to these bid solicitations, so that, again, we're not working in a vacuum without direct communication with you guys as the applicant. So that would be my suggestion.
No, we appreciate that. We
Sure.
can certainly
Right.
weigh in.
Okay. Anyone else on your team or on our Conservation Commission have any thoughts on that, or any differing ideas from my thoughts?
I like
No,
the
that'll-
proposal of 1 week, in terms of the turnaround on that, and I guess communication going forward, what would be the easiest way for us to reach you, in that time frame? Because I followed up after our last meeting and I didn't hear anything back on this, both with Kim and Lourdes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I would, perhaps we can start an email chain, with Kim and Lourdes, but, also have Sean, Don, Rachel, and I, in the communication chain, so that there's more than just 2 people, and we can help guide this along and push it as well, given the responsibilities. So,
Thank you.
yep. I should say within 1 week of having our scope, I think I want it to be very narrow. I want it to be specific to the methods of slope stabilization, and again, not into extraneous stuff like the review of the wetland lines. I believe it all meets riverfront standards and performance standards. So it really does just come down to geotech review. So yep. So that would be my suggestion. And again, yes, we need to push this along for you.
Okay.
All right.
Motion to continue?
Yeah, I think so at this point. I would make a motion to continue. Based on our discussion, we'll really put pedal to the metal on this for you guys, so that by the next hearing, we have demonstrated progress for you guys. So
Sorry,
yes,
I was making the motion, but just to
Oh,
save you, but
yep. So I would. I'm just talking too much, but I second your
that's
motion.
okay.
Right. All right.
That's
I
just
second
me,
your
Don.
motion in the matter. By vote, Dave, aye. Donald?
Aye.
Don,
Aye.
aye.
John, aye. All right. So let's, we'll maintain correspondence, and I really will push this for you guys, to identify a geotech firm or 2 and get solicitations out. no later than by the end of next week, so that we can push this along for you guys.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Now,
Thank
I've
you,
got a
guys.
cer- I've got a
Yep.
certificate, I've got you guys down for certificate of compliance. Is this for the tear down, or, because it looks like it's the exact same thing, but.
So this is for a separate project. I noticed it
Oh.
was listed on the agenda as possibly also
Yeah.
River Road, but they're actually
This is
two
the other
separate
side, right?
areas.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I believe at the last hearing, we landed on providing as-built based on condition 37 of the order
Yeah.
of conditions. Now, I have the order of conditions open next
Okay.
to me that you provided us. It only goes up to condition 19. So is it possible that the town issued conditions beyond 19, because nothing in WPA Form 8A for their certificate of compliance requested the as-built, and we have some security concerns about
Do you-
sharing
do you-
those.
Do you have a copy of the order of conditions available that you can project? It should be.
Sure.
It's not in special conditions. It's boilerplate in the state conditions.
I can share it. Hold on.
All right.
Am I allowed to share?
Sean, would you promote
Yeah, hang on.
Julia's ability to share? Right. If it has the standard conditions from Mass DEP,
Okay.
can you scroll up? This is the order of conditions. And this is the standard template. If you scroll down, it usually is on the last sheet of the DEP
Does it
general
begin
condition.
here?
Yep. Scroll down. Down. It's the last two sentences of the form. Further down. Here. Oh God, I can't read this at this scale.
Let me zoom in a bit for you.
Yep. Yeah. So the issue is it's a standardized condition. So if you may be familiar, right, the state has general conditions that are applied to any and every project that are from the state, and then the town can provide special conditions based on circumstances, right? If you had restoration per se, we would have special conditions for monitoring. But the standard conditions for requests for a certificate of compliance from the state is that any plans that are accepted that are either survey or engineering plans that are stamped by a PLS or stamped by a PE requires a survey as built of the site plan to ensure that it was constructed as designed. And typically there's a letter that goes with it from a PLS or a PE that says, in review of this, all work has been constructed in significant compliance and acceptable deviation from the permit site plans.
Is this the part right here that you're referring to?
I can't read it at this scale.
Can you see my mouse?
Yeah, I can see your mouse. The font is so. Oh, is this it? What does it say? Can you just read it out loud to me for lack of?
So it's under
my screen, it's like-
19B. It says as-built final construction BMP plan. So this is actually under the stormwater requirements. However, when we submitted our notice of intent, we were exempt from filing the stormwater requirements. So this checks off incorrectly that we are subject to the stormwater requirements.
Okay. I'm trying to see if I can find the standardized form from Mass DEP.
I can also share the original NOI that we filed for this. I believe it was last May.
Yep.
But we did review this order following the last hearing, and we didn't find anything requiring us to provide the as-builts. And we also didn't find a condition number 37 as was cited.
So give me a second. I'm just looking through the standardized conditions. So conditions, areas. Oh, I can't do a search on this. Anyway, I mean, I can find it, but it is a standard condition for Mass DEP. It's uniform.
Okay, so that
Yeah, but
doesn't
as Julie
negate the
pointed out, there was
security
no stormwater.
concerns. Oh, John, you can go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, it's tough to, we're stepping on each other on the phone. Yeah, so the commission, this wasn't a stormwater project that had no stormwater components. It was basically, an earthen, dam embankment raising for overtopping protection at the probable maximum flood. So to echo what Julie said, I mean, nothing, with stormwater BMPs really pertains, and we didn't think that it applied.
Was it there was grading? Was the plan that you guys provided us stamped by a PE or a PLS?
Yes, it was, and it was just grading after the parapet walls were installed, just to restore grass in the area. But there's no stormwater BMPs included with it.
That's fine. It doesn't need to. It's not stormwater. It's civil. Any grading, any earthwork, any change in grade, any paving. It's you know it's the way that we assure that a project was constructed in accordance with the site plan, and it's a standard condition.
So if I may, again, so this being a significant piece of our water infrastructure, right, there are some highly sensitive areas around water facilities, particularly at this point in time, if you watch the news.
Yep.
Our as-built records are security sensitive. We actually require non-disclosure forms for anybody that we send those to. It's actually standard practice of most water utilities. We can certainly provide a signed letter from the PE that states that they were done substantially in compliance with those that were on file with the NOI. But
Yep.
we cannot provide surveyed points to our critical infrastructure. So I don't know if having the letter saying that it was stated in substantial compliance with what has been previously would be a compromise in that, but to provide a plan that actually has the survey points is just something, I mean, because I can't imagine you guys are gonna be in a position to require non-disclosure forms for everybody that could access these files, right?
There's actually nothing different between the original plan and the as-built. As-built just says you verified that's what you did, if I understand it right.
Right, but
I
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Right. So are your permit site plans that you submitted are not subject to the same non-disclosure? Those are subject to public record and Public Information Act, no?
They are, but when you actually are certifying something as a physical as-built record,
Yep.
it's just, it has a different connotation.
Okay.
So I'm just requesting that the commission consider, you know, a compromise in that of not submitting the actual as-built with surveyed points to
Yep.
on the drawing. But if a letter from a certified people with PE, you know, signed and sealed, you can certainly provide that, if that is a compromise in that.
Let me ask, there has to be, given the fact that you guys are MWRA and we recognize the public drinking water supply, and I've had a career in energy sector work with natural gas pipelines and things like that. So I do understand, given this time and place, that any of the pipeline projects I worked on were confidential and suppressed from Public Information Act, again, due to security concerns. So you do have a valid point. However, you know, being a state agency and Mass DEP being a state agency, that there must be some written exemption in such circumstances that I'm not familiar with. So I'd like to at least look into that. I'm not saying that what you're saying is not credited. However, any letter that's signed or stamped by a PLS needs to be based on as-built survey. So I imagine they would still need to go out there, perform the as-built survey for you by a survey location of the as-built condition upon which they will attest. So whether or not we actually require the physical plan, I would expect that the PLS letter would state that he attests that he did the as-built survey, and based on his survey datum, not just going out in the field and looking at it and saying, yeah, that looks good enough, right? That's what we're looking for. So whether or not the physical plan detailing the survey points is suppressed from public information, I'd still expect that we'd receive a letter from a PLS attesting to it. And in the meanwhile, I can ask DEP what standard operating procedure is for sensitive information that needs to be suppressed from the public.
So just to follow up on that, the letter that we submitted with our certificate of compliance application is from our engineer on the project certifying that the project has been completed to spec. Have you had a chance to review that, and do you require anything additional in that statement that isn't already there?
Was it
Specifically?
predicated on survey, or how did he conclude that?
Let me pull up the letter.
Sure.
It's John here. We did have survey points included on our record drawings. We had the contractor perform spot survey elevations across the site, and those are included for our record drawings. So that reference would, I believe, would include those survey points.
Okay.
Do you mind if I share my screen again?
Nope.
Okay. Can you read that?
Oh God, again, no, it shows up on my screen as a like 3-point font.
Is that better?
Yeah, I'm squinting, but I can see it.
Okay, well, let me try a little
Too
bit
much on my
bigger.
face here.
Okay,
That's good.
is that better?
Yep.
Okay.
So the plans approved that consisted of site changes. Yep. Would you just scroll down? Yep.
Okay.
Airfill. All right. Scroll down. All right, you guys are reconvincing me, right? I'm not too off from changing my mind on things, because this is essentially, you're right, yeah, and this is signed and stamped by P's. Yeah, this is the testament letter I would see, and I wouldn't see how this would change as if this was predicated on survey. Let's do this. And I think we can do this. I think we can, and let me ask the remaining members of the commission. I think that based on the letter alone, and again with the security concerns, that I don't disagree that some information is suppressed from the general public, and we may not need the as-built survey, like on a plan. I would probably entertain a motion to issue to close the well, a request for a certificate isn't a public meeting, so we don't need to close the hearing, but we do need to vote to issue the certificate of compliance. I really am pulling at threads here at this point, right? The letter from the PA is effectively the thing. I'll leave it to the commission's discretion. I mean, I would either vote to either one of two things. I would just without conditions vote to issue the certificate of compliance, or vote tonight to issue the certificate of compliance, just condition that we verify with the state that there is an exemption afforded from the as-built condition, which I believe they're privy to, right? I believe they're right in that matter. What are your thoughts, Sean, Don?
Yeah, this one's a first for me, but yeah, I guess if somebody could tell us they're exempt, then
yeah,
we could move forward.
Right. So why don't we? So what we could do is we could vote to issue the certificate of compliance tonight, such that we'll have it drafted and prepared to give to you. You know what? I am. You guys have changed my mind, right? I'm open to information. I would be inclined to just vote to issue the certificate of compliance tonight. We can prepare it and give it to you guys. But I do, just to cure my curiosities, because we are into, I'm always learning. I do want to understand from Mass DEP and the state, what constitutes security risk. Public drinking water supply, obviously, dams. Yep, that's the entire aqueduct into Boston is suppressed. Just as natural gas pipelines and other critical infrastructure. A lot of this changed post 9/11. So I'd be inclined to make a motion to vote to issue the certificate. Do you guys have any concerns with that, Sean or Don?
No, not necessarily.
No.
Forgive my ignorance. We're talking about the two garages on the other side? Or is this something totally different?
No, I don't think so. This was, what was your project again? Was this where you guys had
North
there was a
Dyke.
stone walkway? Yeah.
North Dyke overtopping protection, embankment raising. Adjacent
Right.
to the Leominster pump station.
Okay. All right. You guys have obviously you guys are repeat
might be
business
before my
clients
time.
here in Clinton. Yeah. And we have a lot of permits for you guys. Yeah, I don't have a concern with that in review of the letter testament from the PE.
Yeah, I have some bad news. This might be before my time. I don't remember us talking about this, so I'm not sure I can vote on this one.
All right.
I thought, am I making something up about across the pond, knocking those things down? I'm sorry. I thought that's what that was. So
No, that's
So
okay,
it's
Sean.
back
And
to
I
format.
believe you guys also had a project recently where you guys were adding a walkway that was sort
yeah,
of
that's at
ADA
the top of the
compliant.
dam, right? Yep.
No, that's not it.
And this isn't it either. No, I remember this one.
I don't
Okay.
know this one. So
All right. I do want to get you guys out of here and on with your lives. All right. So we can. I am of the opinion to vote to issue. Do we? Now it becomes a matter of public meeting law, and if
Yeah.
if
All
Sean
you have to
can't
do is-
vote on this,
if you can step
And-
down his chair, I can take over his chair.
because Dawn and I can vote on the matter, but we
Is
again
it
just need to
202?
have.
Is that a pass? I guess that's a question. You can second and you guys can vote. I honestly don't know if 2 and 2 abstains is a pass.
All right.
I mean, it's a majority of the people voting.
Yep. Yeah.
We can put it down and check. Honestly, I'm sorry.
No, you know
This
what?
one's
At the risk of erring on my arm part, if
Take
I
the
will
vote,
put
and
my
then if it's
Yep.
wrong, then they'll pull it back. Yeah.
I'll
So if
put
you
my
wanna-
neck in the guillotine. But yeah,
You want to step down
I'd
his
be
chair, I'll take over his chair, and I'll accept the motion to order the certificate of compliance. Is
Yeah.
that what we're looking for? You make the motion, that's fine.
that is right. So I will make the motion to that you guys have submitted all the information and that I make a motion to issue the certificate of compliance. Do I have a second? I think I'm looking for Dawn here.
Yeah, Don?
Can we add based on the PE letter?
Yeah,
Information.
we can say based. Yeah. We can just say based predicated on the testament letter from a professional, a registered PE.
Great.
I second.
Great, I have a motion and a second, roll call. I'm gonna abstain.
Yep. I'm an I.
Aye.
An
Don,
I.
aye.
I,
Rachel, I think.
yep,
Yep.
I have-
Rachel needs to abstain.
We've got a 202, hopefully that passes. So certainly
All right.
the spirit of the committee, the commission is with you. Sorry, we've got some new members here, so we're just playing catch up.
All right.
Well,
So-
thank you. We appreciate you working with us on that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Forgive me
great.
for,
Thank you very much.
Yep. Forgive me for the delays and the rigmarole, but yeah, we need to ensure that we're doing things that nothing comes back to bite us later on.
Completely
Trying to
understand.
absolve the town of Clinton from any liabilities or suits that may come. That's why we do it.
Yeah, no, totally get it. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Okay.
Bye. right.
That is through our continuations. We have an informal meeting with the Clinton Middle School, niche engineering. I'm saying that wrong. The resource area evaluation questions. They still here?
I don't see anyone on. Oh, Bruno Silva's,
Mr.
Bruno,
Silva?
is Bruno here in this matter?
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm here for we sent the owner of 14 Bolton Road send an application, a request of certificate of compliance for 14 Bolton Road.
Do
And
do you know when you sent that in? And if it's, regardlessly, if it's not on our agenda, we can't hear the matter, but.
yeah, you can. All right.
Yeah.
The owner went to the town and asked me to send all the information to you guys and be here in the meeting to see if that could be, here and
Okay.
here.
Oh, so administratively, Bruno, what I can do is, was it your contractor that sent
Yes,
the
yes,
request for certificate?
we built the house, my client sold the house, but at the time of the closing, we just found out that we never get the
Certificate?
certificate of compliance, yeah.
Okay. All right. If,
I
assuming your
have-
contractor sent the information, we officially can't hear matters that aren't on the agenda. It needs to be posted to the general public as well. So what we can do is we can review what your contractor sent, right? You just heard me probably put MWRA through the rigmarole on having an as-built and having a test event. Was the permit for construction of a single family house?
Yeah, I have all the documents here, the as-built, everything.
Ah, perfect. Okay, then you guys should have all your ducks in the row. What I'll do is I'll follow up with Lourdes, the assistant with the town. Ask her again if your application is complete, and to ask that we please put you on the hearing agenda for the October hearing, so that we can review this and vote on it and get you the certificate.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Bruno. right.
We're on to committee reports.
I don't know if we have anyone on.
Gloria's still there?
Gloria.
I'm
Hey,
here.
you're up. Hey,
I'm here.
Gloria.
I'm here.
Hey.
I'm here.
Always patient.
I just have one thing on the agenda.
Oh, good.
We can remove
Gloria,
on the
hold on a
agenda.
second. We have a new member, Rachel. Rachel, this is Gloria Parkinson. She handles
Oh, yeah.
a lot of our subcommittees. We have a new member. She's on her phone, so no picture, but
Hi.
you'll get to know Gloria.
Sure.
Yes.
And
Rachel,
I
Rachel,
go over, we're not going to be doing any Clinton Middle School. Was that, no one showed up for that?
No one's
They
here
didn't
for
show
it.
up. Yep.
Okay.
so Rachel, you won't have the information that I sent, excuse me, to the commission earlier today. I do a monthly report, which I send to the commission, and that report includes a report document, the agenda from the Rauscher Farm Management Subcommittee that happened 2 weeks ago, and that meeting also included the approval of the August minutes. And I
I'm
also
gonna
sent
forward
you
this to you
some,
right now.
what?
I'll forward it to her.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. And there were some pictures. So do you want me to show the report?
Ooh, Rachel.
If no,
Are you
yes,
me or
wait a
no?
minute. Okay, I am now. Can you see it?
No. Oops.
Oh, can you see my report on your screen?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
everybody should be able to share.
Okay, we're all on sharing,
Everybody's supposed to be able to share. Yeah.
right? Everyone can share. Now, should it come?
There
Oops,
you go.
there you go. Okay.
There it is. Oh,
All right. I seem to have shunted off to the side. Why have I shunted off to the side here? There we go.
I need to step away for one brief moment. Please carry on without me, and I'll be back in just a second.
Gotcha.
Okay, all right, so I'll just take an extra, so, Rachel, this is, as I say, the written report that I submit
I'll
each
take a look
month.
at.
Okay, and it comes from, it's a follow-on, as I say. Oh, do you know about the Rochester Farm Management Subcommittee? For a start.
Sorry, I can't look at it and speak at the same time. So, I know about Rauscher Farm and I just found out you are on the committee. So,
Right,
subcommittee as well.
No, yes, so let me explain. The Rauscher Farm Management Subcommittee is a town-appointed committee that serves under the Conservation Commission. And and years back, when the town purchased Rauscher Farm, the town designated the overall management to the Conservation Commission, and then hence the subsequent Rauscher Farm Management Subcommittee. So the town owns the property, and sometimes I have to go before the select board on certain matters about Rauscher Farm. I am the chair of the Rauscher Farm Management Subcommittee. We too follow open meeting laws, which is why the documents that Sean has just forwarded to you is our agenda of our September meeting, and in which we took the draft minutes of the August meeting and entered it into the record. These documents are also on file in the town hall. I've got other voices. Does anyone else hear other voices, or is it just me? Hello, everyone.
I think it's someone's TV or something. It's not mine.
Okay, but you can hear it too. It's just not in my own head.
Yeah.
So, okay, so Rachel, does that make sense now? This is the context for this report.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yes.
Okay.
Dawn, do you have a TV on in the background or that background noise?
No, I'm muted. At least I think I'm muted.
Well, no, now you're muted. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that was the source.
So Rachel, the project update section, that subhead there's a lot of ongoing projects that I report on progress or lack of progress on. So the general note is, do you want me to quickly go through this very fast, or just do you want to read for yourselves?
You said you had one thing, Gloria. I'm
This is
teasing
it.
you. I'm teasing you. You said you had one thing. Yeah.
No, well, everything, yes, well, I'm going to get to the fun part, which is, so all the project updates take care of themselves, right?
Yeah.
They are reports in. I would like to comment on the Woodlands Resiliency Project.
Yes.
This is the grant, the 3,500 this is from the DCR to update the.
Donald?
There is a weird noise, yes.
Party at Don's
So-
house. I mean,
Yeah, honestly.
Party time. We should go to dance, right?
Great.
So this is the grant that the town signed off on the application for. So this is a fee of 3,500 and a further 700 and where is it now? And a further $720.
Yep.
So this is money that is being spent now on the update of the Rauscher Farm management of the woodlands forest steward to include climate adaptability, and will include recommendations on how to go forward and manage the woodlands aspects of Rauscher Farm. The grant is written by a licensed forester. He has visited the property on September the 4th and will return to do all his, his actual research in detail in his own time. He met with me and Jim and Alan, who was there for a time, another member of the Rauscher Farm Management Subcommittee. When he writes this grant, when he writes this update of the plan, he delivers it directly to the DCR, right? The money is already in the town has the money, and I've spoken with Dan Magliosi about how things get billed when we get to that stage. The deadline for this project is January the 22nd, 2025. So he deals with the plan. This 720, which is part of the application, was to allow consultancy with a licensed forester. This is broken down into 3 sections. The first one was that September 4th site visit. The second one is in January of 2025, particular date still to be determined. There will be a presentation of the updated plan, and this will be advertised as a public event to be held in the barn. And then the third aspect of this consultancy money is a wrap-up conversation to determine next steps, namely how to implement the updated recommendations and seek further grant funding opportunities. So the licensed forester, his name is Ry Patton, is experienced in these such next steps. And also he told us that he has also written and advised on some of these grants as next steps. And the other fun thing is that Ry Patton is actually interrupting his paternity leave, a first-time dad, to do the January barn presentation. He really likes Rauscher Farm and how it's being managed in terms of a balance of conservation and recreation. Those other aspects of the habitats, there are basically no updates other than that 2 members of the Rauscher Farm Management Subcommittee did go out and check Clamshell Pond in August, which is what we do every August, to make sure about invasive water plants, and then that gets fed on to the state people who did that remediation work a few years ago. As you know, or may not know, we did a booth at the Old Home Day on September the 7th, and that's a picture of that. There's a photograph attached with this email that I sent you earlier. And the story walk is still running, and also the English language version installed in the library is still running. Okay, now this is something I just would like to go into with you. It is this recreational usage of the properties and the programs. I shared with you last week how the Rauscher Farm Management Subcommittee is looking at ways to incorporate the farmhouse and other Rauscher Farm structures into informational and recreational amenities. Again, we do not wish the various properties to fall into disrepair. And that would mean a capital campaign, and obviously that would be much deliberation and with you and then with the town, etc. But one of the future developments of the farmhouse is that it should be used as an information and recreational amenity. Now, following on from that, there is no electricity in the barn. The farmhouse has electricity, but the barn does not. I met with the town facilities director, Brian Farragut, to discuss bringing electricity to the barn. There is a pole right outside the barn. Mr. Farragut said he'll discuss the matter with Mike Ward, the town administrator. This is because Brian manages and deals with electrical issues in all the town departments, but that's dealing with electricity that's already in the department buildings. He does not deal with actually bringing a project to bring electricity to a town building, i.e. in this case the barn, that does not yet have electricity. So what we brainstormed, he was looking at the barn with us now. So what we brainstormed is basically to follow up with Mike Ward to see what is the mechanism for how this might happen, and at the very, very least to be able to get a quote to see what it would cost. Then either the town would agree to do it now, i.e. in Brian's budget, I'm presuming, and if ideally before that barn presentation in January, or if that didn't pan out, we would have the estimates to be able to put it into the FY26 budget. Does this make sense to you? Yes, Sean.
So you're looking to, there's no wires, there's no electricity in the barn at all. So we would,
No.
not just be connecting it, but we'd have to wire the whole barn for power and lights and
Yes, what we were
what are you
proposing
looking to do?
was, we would put in, several outlets at each end of the barn where the doors swing open. The goal of
I haven't
that
been,
is,
I'm sorry, I've been in there, so I'm
okay,
doing
well, I'll take you. It's fun one day. I'll take you on a quick look-see. There's equipment in there that needs to be charged, right?
Okay.
The equipment actually does not, it's on loan to the town, the brush cutters, the various things that allow the volunteers to manage. But we cannot charge anything. Only can we charge things by either plugging in via the farmhouse, which then of course becomes seasonally based, and also there is no light.
Right,
And
so
what
I'm
we,
wondering, are you looking to just get something in there to charge devices or to have events? It seems,
well,
and is there,
we
Go
do
on.
have both. We do have events in that we've had events in the past, with obviously
in the
during the day,
Right.
and when the presenters have laptops, we've taken up our camping generators.
right. So
Okay.
what's the best case scenario? Like, can we look at like scaling this and figure like, I mean, what is Brian suggesting as far as hooking you guys up?
Brian's not suggesting anything. He wants to talk to Mike Ward first.
What's Mike
It's
gonna
me,
tell him?
it's the Raja Farm Management Subcommittee, and then me conveying what we would like in there, which is outlets to plug
Mike's
things
not an
into.
electrician.
What?
Mike's not an electrician. I mean, what do you guys want?
We want the outlets so we
Yep.
can plug things in,
Yep.
and what
But you
we're
want lights.
proposing, and for lighting, what we're proposing, because the barn is very high, right?
Yeah, I should get over there.
What we're proposing is, like, those lights, we've got one outside on our garage, those,
I'll have to go
the
check out your
lights that will,
garage.
the motion detector lights that come on,
Sure. Yeah.
right? With
You want those
LEDs and we're proposing that. What?
Outside or inside?
Inside. We're proposing that approach for inside the barn because they can then be hung at a reasonable level rather than the very having to climb get up right up into the peak of the barn, so that there would be light, basically two sets of floodlights to flood the two areas of the barn.
I guess my long way of getting to this question is like, are you hoping to have nighttime events there a lot, or is this something?
No, but what we're looking to do is that it's not bright in the daylight. When you come into the barn from outside in the daylight when you're pushing a brush cutter, right?
Yeah.
You suddenly get plunged into, you get some light by the
Big shed.
doorway.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
And so we think there's also a security element in all of this too. We'd be very nice. What we would like is for those motion detectors to come on the moment someone walks in there.
Yep.
Right. But no, there are no night events on Rauscher Farm because the property, all of the property is only available to the public dawn till dusk, year round. So there's two parts to the project. One is National Grid getting the electricity to the pole.
There's a pole next door.
And then an electrician presumably doing a scope of work.
Yeah. There's a pole. Are you guys the end of the road as far as the pole goes?
There's a pole right by the barn. Yeah, there is a pole right by one corner of the barn on Clamshell Road.
Are there wires on it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's supplying electricity to some bodies.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I somehow hijacked this thing. Okay, well, keep us posted as far as.
Yeah, I think
what's
the
Michael
first step.
supposed to tell Brian?
I'm sorry.
What's Brian talking to Michael about?
Because he felt that because his parameters here is he's never been responsible for a virgin supply reaching a piece of town property. He's only dealt with this.
Yeah.
So my plan is that I will talk to Mike Ward too.
That means I don't have to, which is good. Just keep me posted.
Well, I can start the conversation. How about that? I mean, it usually takes.
I love it.
several conversations. I also I need to get hold of Mike Ward again for an update on the path to Clamshell Pond, because I only know informally from Chris McGowan at Old Home Day what's going on, because he's still the chair of the permanent building. So Mike Ward is on my to-do list for next week or the week after.
Go get him.
Right? Okay. But you do, my question to you is, so you do not see an objection to having electricity for safety reasons?
I can't speak for the rest of the commission or for my other board, but I have no problem with that at all.
Okay, because
I'm not speaking for anybody else. Personally,
Okay.
absolutely not.
Okay, does anyone have any?
I gotta say, I think any town building should have power, so it's not really an issue of safety, it's just an issue of town building and what it should have and not have, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's a function
Okay.
of safety, but every town building should probably have power. I don't know if the towns are typically have lots of buildings with no power. So it's just common sense, in my opinion.
Yes, thank you, Donald, thank you. And Dave, you're okay with it?
Absolutely. If you're looking for Conservation Commission support, you got it.
Yeah, okay, so I will go forth on behalf of the Rochester Farm Management Subcommittee, and my goal will be to define a scope of work and get quotes.
Thank you.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds great.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
And I'd love to show you the barn sometime, you and Sean, and, you know.
Yep, I'd love to see it.
And I will need to get your email too as well when we,
I just sent you guys, I replied to your email that you sent today with her email, so you should have it.
Smashing. Thank you very much, Sean. Okay, so that's one aspect. So this is all part of using the buildings. Again, it's part of this master plan for the buildings as well. It's not that they're going to be, you know, every day, etc. But this property does need to be able to have, you know, an educational and a recreational aspect to it. But the barn is less than the farmhouse. Okay, now I want to come now. The farmhouse signage. Okay, this is fulfilling Kimberly's desire, right? One of the photographs that I sent you today, which I've been talking to the person who does all the design work for Rauscher Farm, and there's a photograph, and it's my gym and our sweet dog Abby, who we lost last year before we got the terror dog of this year, on Nickerson State Park. The point being here, these sort of signs that actually convey information in a very easy way. The farmhouse, I remember Skip Rauscher telling me years ago, oh, that's the oldest house in Clinton. But this is a bit like the oldest ballpark, you know? How do we know? So I've had a brief conversation with Bob Latini of the Historical Society and saying, but I have to go in now and see if there's any record of this house being somewhere else and being old, very old. It is an old structure.
I've been told the oldest house is up off Water Street, so that would be interesting to hear.
We probably got about 20 oldest houses, Rachel. If we ask people, you know, who were born and bred here.
Exactly.
So, but I mean, I would love to take you on a walk of Rauscher Farm too, while I remember all of that. So all of this makes sense. So with that in mind, where we are looking at that type. Oh.
Sorry, I just want to see your face, Gloria. I just had a bunch of words there. If you want to show the picture, that's fine, but I get confused. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. All right. Yes, I'm here. So, so that's the signage. That's it. Now we get to this the only one other thing I really wanted to share with you. Okay. So part of this looking at using the farmhouse as an education and recreational facility going, you know, some point in the future after all of this, because we have to now really put this in a way that if it isn't started, it'll never get finished, right? So there's a 3-phase project for 2025. This has come out of the document on diversity that I included at my last report, which Rachel won't have, so I'll have to forward that to her. Rachel, one of the things is with climate change, planning events on Rauscher Farm has got very tricky. What would normally have been, you can say, okay, in the month of May, June, July, August, we can expect certain types of weather. This is all changed. And the change has been quite dramatic for us, Rauscher Farm Management Subcommittee, both in terms of managing the property, where the sweat equity, we push the brush cutters, we do, all of that. It's very, very different these last several years, which is why we're doing a look at the habitats as to how they should be managed going forward, and hence the woodlands forest steward plan update. Okay, so now we're looking at what is a sort of pilot project for the concept of looking at introducing people to nature in different ways. And we're going to do this nature as imagination, you and your camera, and it's a 3-phase project. And what it is to have people take photographs of Rauscher Farm and then interpret their own photographs with another photograph. So, for example, take a photograph of the farmhouse in reality. Here it is, the farmhouse, and there's the picnic tables and everything. And then you take that photograph and you do a sort of Picasso on it. You might do cubism farmhouse, or blue farmhouse, or, cartoon farmhouse or something. So in other words, the whole project will be to encourage people, yes, to visit Rauscher Farm, yes, to take a photograph in their own time, so we're not bound by weather, and then to interpret their photograph in an imaginative way. So that's the foundation of the project. It is going to start on specific dates. I gave you the dates, which I've now lost because of my, wait, with my own report here. There is a photographer that has been identified as being exceedingly good match for the project. The report contains his website, so you can see that he covers pretty much a huge range of types of photography. He is going to do a 2-hour workshop in the library on April, let me just get my dates here, next April the 12th, right? And that will be down in the community room. This has all been checked out with the library director, by the way. So we will try and fill the community room like we did for the bird. We did a bird one in April of this year. So that's part 1. Part 2 will happen in May. That will be Saturday, May the 10th, 3 hours on site, which again will start with an intro in the barn, but then we'll take people out to talk about taking nature photographs actually on site in Rauscher Farm, right? So people can get practice run at that. They've got their photographer bloke here that's done one workshop and is now actually doing the hands-on stuff. Okay, then the third part is a photography exhibition in the library, which I actually did finalize the date today with Marie, but it's around the 7th of November. And what will happen is we will set it up on a Thursday. It will be open to the public in the library on the Friday and Saturday, and then we'll take it down when the library closes on Saturday afternoon. For those who remember this, I'm borrowing the idea from, remember the pop-up art show at Old Home Day they used to do, and then it stopped before, when COVID came along, and it's never been resurrected. I've sort of, I've taken a bit of that, right, as a concept, just so that the exhibit will just be there for 2 days and gone. So that's the project, and it's to pay for his fee. I intend to write a cultural council grant, which is due on the 16th of October, this October, which is why this whole thing had to be worked out, right? So that grant would cover Steve McGrath's fee for the April presentation in the library. Something called Freedom's Way do a hidden gems program, which only runs in May, and there is typically a stipend attached to that. And I applied for that stipend for the bird walk we did on Rauscher Farm with David Ammerman. So I intend to apply for that again for Steve McGrath's on-site hands-on session on Rauscher Farm. And then we have to think of more money, because we need some more money to put on the exhibit. So that's it. But it has this looking at encouraging people to come into nature, and yet in a different way. And again, I borrowed the idea, I'm not the brightest bulb on the porch, so I don't always have good ideas, but I do know how to research. So this is also something that is spreading through things like Mass Audubon, nature as art, they're calling it. And so, but I'm taking it, hopefully, try and do something, make your own art out of a regular photograph. So that's
It's
it.
homage, Gloria, you're not borrowing it. It's an homage.
An homage. It is an homage. Thank you. Yeah, it is an homage. Thank you. Makes me feel better, Sean.
There, see, that's what I do.
So I just wanted to give you all of that tonight, because it will have a long rollout, right? But
Yeah.
it comes from the farmhouse. This is why it's all tied in.
Good.
It shows that things you can do, and then at some point, I may be twittering in the trees by the time this happens. But the
me both.
farmhouse converted to, etc. You got it?
Great idea.
Got it.
Gloria, you have our support. Can I just make one suggestion?
Please.
Next time, don't lead with "I have one thing." I know you too well. I love you and I adore you. You're absolutely
Had to fall
amazing.
for that one.
Everything you do out there.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was saying that. I think you do know me too well, Dave. That's the
One A,
problem.
one B,
I think
one
we all
C.
do. Yep. No. And we're appreciative. I mean, you're the best land steward for Rouchard Farm and the best advocate. And
My
I
other
appreciate it.
one thing is, yes, the conservation mower will be doing the annual conservation mow in October.
Oh, once,
South
yeah,
Bell.
the fall annual. Okay.
Yeah, that was the 11111 thing.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah. 1.0. Good.
Rachel, does this make any sense to you?
Oh, definitely. Yes, I was
Okay,
following
okay.
along and interested also, like you said, fundraising, and I'll be interested when you do look at the electricity for the barn, where that money would be coming from to put the electrical in that area.
Yeah, creative thinking. Oh, my other final thing then is Volunteer Day on Rauscher Farm, October the 5th, 9 till 1. I'm done.
Right.
Oh,
I'm
Rachel,
holding
may I
you to that. Otherwise, we're going to play the music that they play in the award ceremonies when they're trying to.
Rachel, I
usher
do have
someone on
one
stage.
question for you, if I may.
Yeah.
I have a MailChimp list, which I put, this is how we publicize things on Rauscher Farm. I don't share it, sell it, nothing. But I pump out information about, so for example, that Volunteer Day has just gone out on that MailChimp list. Are you comfortable if I add you to that MailChimp list or not?
Sure, that's fine. Please do.
Okay. And Dave, you're on it, and Sean,
Yes,
you're on it?
it keeps me appraised. Yep.
All right. That's my one, Dave. I'm done.
Oh, that's amazing. Yep. So good. All great stuff. And I believe we support all of these initiatives for you, Gloria.
Thank
So
you very much,
yeah,
everyone.
please give our best to Jim, and give my best to the good Dr. Jagir, if Professor Jagir, if you see him in your pollinator.
I saw him 10 days ago.
Oh,
He's
yeah?
coming he's coming next year to the Rauscher Farm pollinator nursery garden. I was
Good.
a pollinator event. I talk
That's
about it in the, you can read it. I don't say any more about it, Dave. You can read it.
Got it. All right. Thank you, Gloria.
Thanks,
All right.
Gloria.
So
Thank you.
I shall, thank you, everybody. I will now leave.
No
Yes.
worries. Thanks, Gloria. With that, I would take a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
So moved.
I
Aye.
second.
And I
Ron,
second it.
Aye.
Yeah.
We can stop the
absolutely.
recording and that's it. We can wrap up.
I'm gonna use Gloria's math next time I tell my wife I'm gonna stop for one beer on the way home.